So we're going to talk about three basic home buying disasters that can happen to individuals who purchase a property and aren't given all the necessary information up front. So one of those things that tends to come up most often is property taxes being reassessed after the property has already been closed on. Now, in Florida specifically, property tax bills come out the November following the year in which the taxes are actually assessed for. So, as an example, the 2018 property tax bill will come out November 1st. If you're purchasing a property between January 1st and November 1st, your lender is actually going to qualify you for that property using the previous year's tax bill. 2017 as an example, in 2018. Now, that tax bill is based on what the current homeowner paid for the property and what the assessed value was for them. So realistically, that tax bill is lower than what your assessed tax bill would be come November of the year in which you buy the property. Why is this a problem? Well, it means that you were expecting a payment that could end up being lower than what it's going to be later on in the year. The bigger problem it creates is if you escrow for your taxes and your insurance. Because what tends to happen in those cases is there's an under collection of the tax amount because it was based on a previous year's figure. This means you're going to have a shortage in your escrow account, and some of you might have already experienced that, where your lender will come back to you the beginning of the following year and tell you that you owe back taxes to refill the escrow account, which could cause your monthly payment to skyrocket for the 12-month period immediately following that increase. Disaster number 2 has to do with individuals buying properties located in communities that require an HOA fee. Something your lender or bank might not have considered at the time they were qualifying you for the property is any upfront costs that these associations are requiring. Some associations require a capital contribution to the HOA. It can range anywhere from $100 to $2,000. However, it needs to be considered up front because if your lender or bank is giving you an idea of what your cash to close, your closing costs plus your down payment, combined, what that number is, and they're not factoring in an additional $2,000, maybe $3,000 for upfront HOA dues that are required by the association, you're going to be taken back when you find out that you don't have quite enough money needed to buy the property you found. It's important that when you're working with your lender or bank that you're letting them know exactly the properties you're interested in order to avoid this particular disaster. The third disaster of becoming a homeowner is for individuals who decide to waive their owner's title insurance policy. Now, title insurance is purchased one time by an individual when they're buying a property. It's not a requirement. However, it protects you for as long as you own the home. So when the title company or title attorney does a search and determines that there's no encumbrances on title, you're getting clear title, you're insured for that. But what happens when someone shows up a year or 2 years down the line and shows evidence that they had a private mortgage against the title for the previous homeowner? Well, your title insurance protects you from having to pay that debt. However, if you opted to waive the option of the owner's title policy, you wouldn't be protected and you'd be held accountable for that liability. So these are just three simple things, disasters, that can be avoided just by you asking all the right questions up front of your bank or lender.